Hey, what's up, Rock Club Foundation? We are live. Classrooms are in session. I've been getting a lot of questions from a lot of different people on how to start a community garden. My experience with starting community gardens. I volunteered at dozens of community gardens across the country and helped start community gardens in several different cities across America. Um, and got a lot of education as far as how to start community gardens and stuff like that, and gardens in general. I used to own a landscape business, and I used to, um, done a lot of sustainable landscape. And also, I'm a certified horticulturist because I actually went to school for landscaping and landscape design, and also nursery operations. I know, like, why would you go to school for landscaping? That's what I thought when I was a kid, actually. But this is what and but there is a lot that goes into landscaping and cityscaping because most of our world is the outside. The outside of where we live, outside of a house, is a farm. Is a lot. There's a lot that goes into gardening and landscaping, and that's why it's really important for it to be sustainable. It's really important for um, sustainability. To design landscapes where they actually work and are earth friendly and really sustainable. Right? That's one of the first things I want to talk to. I got a whole list of things I want to go over. So the reason that we got to do, we got to fit out, things that are sustainable. You don't all just have to plant edible plants. Majority of every landscape you see out there, like landscape job, is very actually not edible and very actually not really that sustainable. It's all about they sell. They buy. What they do is they go to a nursery and they buy a bunch of plants. They put it in your landscape. A lot of the plants are not native, and they also need a lot of work and need a lot of upkeep. And that's all relatively good and all, but then because for the landscape people, because they charge money for the upkeep. So more upkeep there is on the landscape, the more money they make. And that's so it's like the spiraling cycle of more money it costs to upkeep your landscape, the more money the landscape are going to make, more money that they put in. So they put the ridiculously expensive plants that cost a lot, that takes a lot to upkeep, that in turn costs a lot to upkeep, which make the landscapers lots of money. This whole really difficult thing that leaves landscaping. So, like, how do you escape that? So the best thing you do is actually kind of sometimes doing nothing and leaving things natural is really a good thing. So not cutting down your trees that you have, leaving preserving your land, preserving the native landscaping, and so and when you if you have a yard, adding native plants to your landscape is really important because they are going to be needing less water and less maintenance, and they're going to be need less work maintenance and less work um, to upkeep, right? And this is and so yeah, they need less work and less to upkeep native and natural plants, right? So this is how you can actually design a landscape that needs almost zero work and zero water, and it's that good for the planet, right? Why the only reason that you would want to put any other type of plants in your landscape that is not native if it was somehow beneficial. you know, and like, oh, we're pretty, it look pretty, this boxwood, literally a boxwood. You want to cut a bush to look like a box. You literally, all these people, like, I'm gonna put a bush here, and then I'm gonna trim it to look like a box, and I'm like, you know how much upkeep there is to make a bush that is beautiful and natural and like have all kind of, you know, and make it look like a square. To make a box, yeah, a plant into a square. Like insane. It's like typically insane. Um, we got to fit it out. So these are things that we got to fit out. How to design landscaping, and I made a whole after we get through the lesson. I made a whole documentary on how to design landscaping and dwellings and stuff. But we get to that in a little while. So I don't know if I said this yet, but so we are having a competition. We are having a competition, right? We are having a competition to whoever can do before and after shots of gardens. So I want everybody to go out and do a before and after shot of your garden, right?
What?
Yeah, and this is one of my Karen idea is you should start your home.
Hello?
Hi, Michelle.
Hi.
We are on a phone.
Yeah, we're on live stream on YouTube.
Yeah, you can talk to your friends later.
He's one of our YouTube guys, people.
Well, hang up the phone. We on live stream. I'm not trying to be rude. We on live stream right now. We gotta go.
How do I end this?
Well,
I think I ended it.
So, yeah, please don't answer the phone while we live streaming. I'm sorry, people. So get my whole off topic. So yeah, we having a contest to see who. And I wasn't trying to be rude. I'm just it's rude for Michelle to answer the phone in the middle of a live stream. So,
I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to be rude either.
So yeah,
That's the guy that was calling.
Well, okay. So anyway, we're having a contest to see whoever can take the best before after, whether it be on your own yard or a community project or community garden, or we want to do like before and after, and you want to post them to my Facebook page on the description of this video. If you can do it before and send me some of your, if it could be pictures or videos or edit them together and show them on a video that we'll be doing after Earth Day, because this whole event is going to be surrounded by Earth Day. And so that's the whole thing is. So if you want to enter in this contest, let us know if you want, because we really like to collaborate with people like you in order to do more sustainable thing, because this is what Earth Day is all about, is coming together to try to come up with solutions to all the world problems. Do you know how to do charcoal?
It says you write with your own charcoal. I burnt down my abuser's house, and now I use the charcoal for all my writing needs.
That's so and charcoal is actually really good for gardening as well.
Really?
Yeah,
Tell us about it.
I will when I'll in the future when I'm talking about landscaping and these. So there's things that you want to do is you could start gardening in your own yard, which is easy. You just go outside and hopefully you don't really need very much plant. Luckily, in most areas you don't need any permitting or permissions to plant anything. If you are digging trees and stuff, you are going to need to call I believe it like 811 before you dig. If you're planting like trees and stuff, that's probably pretty important. But and that's just to check to make sure, well, where is your water line, electricity hookups, and other hookups are going, so you don't break pipes. Um,
What?
and keep track of where you're burying pipes and stuff like that, and report them to 811.
Oh my god, this is so weird, Eric. What the hell? I wonder who this person was.
Who? The person call you?
No, this. Okay, Facebook just shared this thing from 6 years ago on this day. It says today a girl had a
Why
long.
you interrupting the live stream, Michelle?
I'm sorry, it just made me laugh, and you were asking me about it.
Okay.
Sorry.
I'm sorry, Michelle. So, um, so
Okay, where were you?
okay, I'm trying to figure it out, Michelle. And basically what I was saying that there's you can start landscape, but a lot of people are like, well, I don't want people coming to my house. I don't really want to start a community garden. So how do I start a community garden? Well, like I say, gardens are like people have to pay money to start to landscape the areas. There's also a lot of areas that are underdeveloped that they're not being paid to being landscaped. You can contact businesses, look for vacant lots. Contact the city, contact the owner of vacant lots. A good thing, one of the things you got to realize that a community garden could be a temporary project. It doesn't, So a lot of times, people buy plots of land and they plan on building it later, but they have to build on it right now. Well, community gardens, where plants only take 6 months to grow. And you can move the planter boxes or whatever to a new location. Once you plant a garden, I mean, some gardens would take a lot more work to build up. You just gotta figure out what type of garden you want. You want to be a temporary garden in a location or a long-term garden. You just got that's all to do with what you can do. Sometimes it's easier to find a temporary location. Be like, oh, we're gonna put in this garden, and do it 6 months. And get at least 6 months at a time, or you're not. But I wouldn't recommend. But a lot of times, don't have to pay money to lease a property, because they are beneficial because you are keeping the property up. How does a garden have to? How long does it take to? Would it? Yeah. Exactly. And so when you start a garden, sometimes it's hard to start, so they're going to build a project down the road and they want to start a garden. It's usually, a garden usually takes 6 months to grow from seed to harvest, or less than that. There are some things that are way less than that, but that's pretty much typically all you need to actually do, a sustain like a typical garden is 6 months. Some things take longer depending on if you want to do like edible food forest or like trees. If you want to plant trees or have integrating trees or fruit into your garden, those are going to be longer. But planting a fruit tree is this great thing that you could do to add edibles into your neighborhood without much work. And you can buy fruit trees on food stamps, which is great. So you can buy a tree, put a fruit tree in your front yard or on the corner of the street. In a lot of areas, you don't have to plant a whole garden. But more people don't realize if you plant fruit trees, you're gonna also plant things underneath the fruit trees, because it takes time for the fruit tree to grow, and in that time period, there's all this space around it that is, and then you can put bushes, and that's the whole where I get into this whole thing about the gardening, the thing. So these are the places you think you need to think about. You need to plant your trees, then your bushes, then you plant these small plants and your flowers. So this is the whole idea of how to plant a garden, right? So you got your bigger trees, right? And the trees are very small at first, right? And so you put bushes around them, and then around your bushes you put plants, and then around the plants you can put things. And that's a really good way to do like actually filling like edible landscaping or edible garden. A lot of times, like if you want to do a community garden, a lot of times what they do is they do allotments, right? Where you build planter boxes, and everybody get their own planter box, and they call the allotment, and everybody get their own allotment, which is somewhat community building, but also everybody kind of working on their own project, which is somewhat nice because everybody get the freedom to work on what they do. What did it say?
I don't have food stamps. Wait, what did he say before that though? He said, but I don't have food stamps. Like he said something else.
Okay, all right.
Can I do my garden inside my house? Yes. Just get like an indoor way of planting.
Yeah, there's a lot of ways that you could use plants for. So yeah, there was one way. There's a lot of ways that you can plant gardens that doesn't take that long. Microgreens is a great way to do indoor gardening and sustainable. You can actually be surprised on how much you can produce with microgreens. You can actually make a lot of money. I've seen people doing microgreen videos of people doing microgreens inside their house. More people think, oh, indoor garden, you growing that grass, ain't you? I'm like, no, microgreens. In microgreens, actually, you can make a lot of money, and it's legal. The only thing you really have to watch out for is taxes. If you get to that level of improvement. So a lot of people do grow them in trays and lights and just on shelves, and they put they put the seeds on the trays and they grow them up and then they trim them. And I don't know, I'm not really expert on microgreens, but that's a really good way of doing sustainable gardening inside of a house or building or that is profitable. Plant veggie and herbs and peas too. Yeah. So, you can do a lot more gardening. Growing weed is actually legal in some cities and municipalities. That's a really good way to actually bring community people together. I'm not really going to get too much into that because this is a family-friendly YouTube channel. I got an official YouTube cup right here, toast to YouTube. Please, but if you guys are liking this video, please remember to like, subscribe, and share the video. So one of the things that you could think about doing is talking to your friends and neighbors, letting them know about like growing sustainably, as far as planting sustainable gardens and planting things that need less work to do. What kind of fertilizer? So fertilizing. So the best type of fertilizer actually no fertilizer. Fertilizers actually kill the microorganisms that lives in your garden. Fertilizers is one of the things that are actually a byproduct of chemical manufacturing, and things are like war. A lot of so So pesticides, fertilizers, I don't really recommend, especially for a local yard or a local garden. Best type of things to fertilize with is just organics. Um, so organic materials such as one of the yard waste, your and kitchen waste is always a good thing. You can always bury it underneath your garden or compost it and then use it later. Uh, what does it say?
Why do my pumpkins taste of dog dirt? I have been putting dog dirt in my compost, but I don't think it should. Wait, you didn't even let me finish.
Yeah, I'm not really sure how to answer that question. That's why. Maybe somebody else in the chat can.
Oh my gosh, did you see what that last person said?
Hmm. Oh yeah. So manure is good fertilizer. They've been using animal manure, goat manure. That's the whole reason that goats are really good for sustainability. Because goats can break down like compost really fast. Like goats can almost eat half their body weight. Chickens can eat a lot. Goats can eat a lot, and then they all break that down really quickly. Another way that is good is acid gas through this process, gasification. Um, so I actually want to finish uploading this video about the gasifier um, here maybe tomorrow. And I went to All-Purpose Labs and got what you call coal. So you can take charcoal and coal, right? I don't recommend from a house or or you know, but I recommend from like a natural source like wood or fire, to be are really good source of fertilizer. So so they actually show that all-purpose labs have a lot of say reason that charcoal is a really good biochar or charcoal is a really good fertilizer to create to hold because charcoal as you hold nutrients into the soil for long periods of time and actually building really beneficial gardens. Um, and they also, so like I said, I wouldn't recommend using chemical fertilizers. I would only recommend using natural fertilizers. Natural, if you guys want to spread water, or you can water natural fertilizers into your garden using compost tea, other things, but that's a little bit off, so, but there's a lot, I can make a whole other film dedicated to ways to fertilize your community garden. What's really important is with your ground cover. So you got to have something over the top, something that is dry, something that is going, leaves, hay, pine mulch, something you would in most landscape they always have some type of mulch. You should always try to have some type of mulch even in your garden, whether it be leaves, hay, or pine. How? Mm-hmm. So you should and like I say, you can talk to local businesses, local community gardens because they you talk to the people. Some people even go out and do a guerrilla gardens, which are really great sometimes, but you always run a risk of being evicted. Um, but like around highways and stuff, you can always do a adopt highway program. You can talk to city council, city plan. Once they know that you were on to take over do landscape carving, they usually because it does cost a lot of bit to do one landscaping over areas. So you are doing them are doing them a favor. So you should just reach out. I seen so I seen community gardens at side of on the side of strip malls and side of yards, areas that like of grassland that are just kind of underutilized or underused. Usually that's like malls and other areas. In the middle of medians and stuff, you just talk to your city officials. So another good thing to use. Another good thing to use. So when you let me get into how to start community gardening. Is that so? You one thing you gotta do is basically much. You gotta get some people. You gotta either find a spot to do a community garden yourself, or just start by talking to your friends and neighbors, and mention the idea of starting a community garden. I started a community garden pretty much by myself. Just start doing it, and then people show up once I pretty much got a gardening place going. Sometimes you can just network with your friends and neighbors and help each other in each other yards and gardens and doing classes on gardening. There's a lot of these questions. That's why community gardens are really good because we learn from each other, right? So like everybody has their own way, so we can kind of teach and learn from each other gardening techniques. Um. So. Yeah. All right. So dude, we just gotta come together and work together. I don't know why. Place out a banana man. So right now, people are have to stay in social distances, and how they plant community gardens. So yeah, so right now the staying in social distances, and yet you still want to garden. So this is a really good time to do your own gardening and working with your neighbors on how to start gardens. You can still start gardens in your own houses and share like I was saying in the beginning, halfway through the beginning video. You start your own garden and sharing pictures with your friends and getting their ideas and starting a community discussion that way. One of the things I wanted to talk about is that another thing that we could do is that allotments are everybody have their own space, and now a lot of times like a lot gardens doesn't have to be a daily thing that people do. A lot of people think, oh, you gotta be there every day to take care of it. Well, if you have to be there every day to take care of it, not really sustainable. They should be. I know understand they need a lot of water, but they should have watering systems in place for everybody. The will, the water should come on every day. If you pay an allotment fee, then the water should be provided for you, and that's really important. Like digging, when you give somebody a lot, also give them a way to put them on a sprinkle path. Timers are really cheap, inexpensive, and if you're charging an allotment fee, usually that is thing, and usually sometimes you can even get a lot. Whoever business that you are collaborating with, you could even help them pay some of the fees like water and things too. So so like my friend does a community garden outside of business, right? So instead of a business paying a landscaper to do the gardening, they have a community garden, and which is really awesome. And they actually help pays for and they pay the water bill, and they pay and they actually help fund the organizer of the community garden. a small salary to help keep up the garden, which is awesome, you know? I think there should be a lot more of the program in place. What does it say? My flowers. What does it say?
My favorite flower.
What is your favorite flowers?
Purple lilacs.
Oh, okay. And where are they native to?
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I know they're right by my parents' house.
Mm.
And in a couple of places in Ann Arbor. Oh, cool. Nemo likes that likes too a lot.
Yeah, so I mean, you know, and nothing wrong with planting. I guess nothing wrong with planting flowers, as long as you know that they're not going to be invasive. You know, you never want to plant something that's invasive. Most nurseries places, the Chinese elms.
Yeah, they do.
Chinese elms are beautiful because they have flowers and stuff, but they also, you know, once they flower and spread the seeds, and then they spread like crazy. And they're very invasive.
What is?
The Chinese elm. There's a lot of invasive plants that people introduce because they bought it at a nursery, and then they end up being invasive species. You just got to be careful with that type of thing. So edible flowers are, so there are a lot of flowers that aren't edible. There are a lot of flowers that are edible. Dandelions, believe it or not, are edible, even though most people think they're weeds. See, you know, most weeds are just plants that are out of place, or or another. But sometimes they are quote unquote invasive. So they are invasive, mean they spread rather quickly, and they get in areas in which they don't where they don't belong. And so that's why they make associated with, or they might just be a plant that somehow are out of place. So, but there is difference between invasive and. But there are a lot of flowers that are edible. The hype, my teacher when I lived in Florida, he really loved hibiscus flowers, right? And hibiscus are these big, beautiful flowers you see in like Hawaii and stuff. But they also sell hibiscus tea. Most people have heard of hibiscus tea, but you can actually eat fresh hibiscus flowers. Are really good. Yeah, and so, but there's a lot of things that, you know, you don't have to just plant edible varieties of plants in a garden. Flowers are really beneficial. You know, believe it or not, when they first plant that was grown in space was a flower. You know, sometimes if you can't grow a lot of food, you can grow flowers, and flowers could be enjoyed by more people than the people that will eat it. You know, so the fact that people seem to have a garden that could be enjoyed visually, if not physically, is sometimes good too. And you can make a lot of money off of cut flowers and sell them as well too. So I'm gonna, so like I said, we have 35 minutes in. We only have 10 likes, 17 people watching. Please like and subscribe, because I like to get some more people in on this class discussion. I know it's kind of boring talking about gardening. Michelle would like to do some water features.
Yeah, water gardening. I applied at least 2 places to do it, and I started studying it like a couple of years ago.
So you can do large scale water garden. I have friends that have ponds in their backyard, which is awesome because it
Yeah.
is a good backup source for your garden. So in case you need in case for some reason you have a drought or a shortage of water, your city water get cut off or what have you, you have a backup supply of water um for your garden or your house. If you but you had to have if you have a water filter. You can do small water features such as that might be easier to start off with just you know like a container of water, like a half a barrel maybe. You can buy old wood barrels from a whiskey, like a Jim Beam barrel from Harbor from actually garden supply stores and stuff like that. You can seal them up and use them as places to put gardening. You can also use other things that you may make out of concrete to make plant. You can also do just, I mean, you could do small or big. So, so we are talking about gardening right now and getting people excited about gardening. Um, and we want everybody to show their gardens off. And I'm going to try to do some more gardening as well. But I'm like I was saying in the beginning of the film that been a professional landscape and gardener. Most of my I went to landscape operation in high school. I was a professional gardening for many years, and then I also volunteered and started a bunch of community gardens. I started the first desk in community gardens. I also started a bunch of gardens and inspired a, a ton of people on community gardens. And I hope that with this video that will help inspire more people to start gardening. So as well. So um, does anybody know anything about planting? I don't know anything about planting gardens. Well, let's all just start with a plant in the ground, an idea, and you know, you go outside and you plant just so and the best thing you do is to start doing it. Get together with other people, talking to them, and if you had what did it say?
If you wanna play hide and seek with love, let me remind ya, you're alright. Loving you're gonna miss, and the time it takes to find ya, you're out of sight. The only thing I got popping up in my grass
Yeah,
is
what?
dandelions.
Oh, the only thing you got popping up in your grass. Well, like I said, dandelions are not always the worst thing that you can have. You can make, you can eat them. Um, the thing about how to get rid of, how to get, and maybe and that might be another reason to get rid of your grass completely. Because grass is not really sustainable. I mean, why do you spend your weekends cutting a field and does it do anything for you? And it's just, and you water it and you cut it and you water it and you cut it and you water it and you cut it, and it doesn't really do anything, other than you know watering and cutting it. So think about that. Um, like why
Huh.
everybody have a yard. A yard is a grass is nothing special. Maybe you know. So and maybe a lot of people move into places where they don't have no control of the yard because they don't want to get in this whole thing. But you can do landscape. You can put, like it's really ridiculous. The people that rake the leaves out of the yard just so the grass can grow, so they can cut the grass. You know. So, I mean, just you leave the leaves and actually pile more leaves. How about that? That way you don't have the grass, and then maybe plant some bushes and actually some other plants in with them. Plant some plants that will go deep into the ground and grow, and then plant rows. My yard is 6 acre. I have a pond and lots of cutting. Well, good. Well, you can use your pond to water your yard, and you got a lot of cutting. Well, if you do want to keep cutting grass, maybe you can make it into hay. They give you an excuse to have long grass because you could be like, well, I'm making it into hay. Or you could till it up and plant some type of crop. If you have that type of much of land, you can do something with it. You can buy goats. They will eat your grass. And you can move them around. And that's, it's pretty funny. So I told people this funny thing is, so once I had a job, and then I had a lawnmower. And then I hire other people to push the lawnmower for me. And then I bought a goat. And then I never had to cut grass ever again. That's my story. Oh yeah. Yeah, you can plant trees in your yard, and you won't have to cut your grass because you have leaves. You can plant rows of. So I have my friend. They do that. They plant an orchard in their yard, and once the trees grow up, they will smother their grass, and they won't have a yard no more. Yeah, I used to work at McDonald's. When I was a kid, I used to work at McDonald's. And I used to bust tables and did that type of stuff. And then I realized that I could make more money cutting grass. And I started doing that. And then I realized if I just find the jobs and hire other people to cut the grass for me, I don't have to do as much work. And I can make way more money because I can cut way more yards. And then I got a goat, and the goat cut the grass for me. And then once I had a goat, I didn't really need to do my landscape company no more. And but yeah. And the goat always cut the grass for me. So, yeah. So, how many people will, so just go out and start a community garden, talk to your local businesses, areas that, a lot of people don't want to deal with the landscape. So, if you guys talk to them and say, hey, I want to plant a community garden. I know it's a lot of work, but you guys can do it. Um, so so I was bored at so yeah. Um, so I don't know. Maybe I can get into Q&A a little bit. Does anybody have any questions about community gardens and stuff? Um, a guy mows a. What does it say? What does it say?
A guy wait, what? Go back up. A guy mows. Wait, go up a little. My papa's lawn once a month. It's a waste of money and effort, and the mower guy suffers.
I plant potatoes in 5-gallon buckets. That's good. So a lot of people you could. So what can you use to plant gardens in? So you could use 5-gallon buckets. When I lived in Detroit, I planted gardens inside of tires. So I use car tires. Where can you get car tires from? Is I recommend picking up car tires from the side of the streets. Whenever you see car tires laying around neighborhoods and stuff, use it as an excuse to do a community cleanup. Because people always leave car tires in places that they don't belong, and they cost money to dispose of. That is too much of work to do. You can also, and if you need enough car tires, you can also go to the EPA and get a beneficial use permit. And yeah. So and those are pretty easy to get, as long as you explain to the EPA what you're planning on doing with the tires. A lot of people want to. I recommend painting the tires. I recommend doing some single stack, because once you plant in the tire 1 year, the next year all you gotta do is keep going and flip them upside down. You can plant like 2 to 3 tomato plants. You can plant 3 or 4 different plants in each tire. Depending on the size and nature of the plant. And then once they die, and you just fill the plants with different plants, and then once they die, you just flip them. Um, it's really easy, because you don't have to till, you don't have to have any tools. You're just flipping tires. Why don't bugs keep off your plants? So there's a lot of people that have the same issues. There's a lot of videos on that. There's you can grow different type of plants that want to take the bugs away. Oils and stuff like that. Mini scarecrows, yeah. So how many people are going to do before and after shots of the gardens? So I'm going to do the editing the garden. You guys got until like mid-May to get me the pictures of the before and after shots of the garden. And we are going to do. I think that I'm in the desert. Well, at least nothing really grows, so at least you don't have to worry about cutting your grass.
What is he saying to me?
Sorry, talking to Michelle. No, are you talking to people on the internet? No, Michelle's actually sitting here looking at flowers on the internet.
Yeah, I am, but I'm also doing the other too.
What are you talking? Are you talking to people?
Oh, I got some kind of message from Randy and.
All right.
He was asking about some art shows.
All right.
Okay.
I'm not good at gardening. I like to, so I will need a lot of advice. Okay. I mean, my advice is starting small. Start off with maybe one tire. Get a tire. Plant a garden. If you want to do a mobile garden, you could do hydroponics are always good. If you want to do some type of mobile gardening technique, you can actually take a can of pop, right? And take a piece of pantyhose, wrap it around the cup of the can, right? Fill it full of a little bit of dirt, and then then maybe going about that far into it, and you actually grow a huge like tomato plant out of a tin can, and it doesn't take up a lot of space and room. It's something that you can grow, that you can have mobilely growing. You can actually have like growing out of a shelf or off the side of a thing, and it's something that doesn't take a lot of maintenance either, because you all you have to do is put a little bit of water every once in a while. So you fill the can up halfway with water every few days, and you can have a huge like plant growing, and it will have little weight, and yeah, it's a technique that hydroponics are developed by NASA. So you can do a gardening in your inside of a bus. I could even do that yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. That you could like literally have a tin can sticking it into a shelf, and have a cold gardening on a shelf. In the kitchen, like above your kitchen, you could have like plants hanging down out of tin cans. So hey, look up tin can garden, hydroponic gardens. I want to show them a picture. Images.
Well, that's neat.
You gotta put hydroponic.
Okay.
You gotta use the word hydroponic, Michelle. Go back up. Okay. Come on. So there are a lot of ways I see. So let me show you guys some of these hydroponic garden pictures.
Right, I've heard that too.
So these are like really, really easy way of growing plants that are lightweight and would take a lot less work to do. Hydroponics are not is a very So basically, you could have a pipe like this. It goes across, and you can have big, huge heads of cabbage, right? And the water just flows through these pipes, right? So that's one way you can do it. So you have like pipes like that. You know, like these are really awesome. You can do something like that inside of a inside a inside of even a bus or a vehicle. You know, they take a little work because you just have a reservoir of water that flows through it. See, my dad had one of these things, right? They basically have a reservoir of water and the water flows through it, and the roots hang down the middle. It's actually really effective because you can actually grow that one tower right here that take up about 2 feet of space on your porch. Actually grows about a 10 equivalent of like a 10 by 10 foot garden. So there's a bunch of rack designs and stuff. So okay, so this right here, this is what I was trying to show you guys. So this is like a mason jar, right? And you got a little bag right here. This is a bag that's like just an old pantyhose, right? And then you got some rocks and some soil down here, and you got a plant growing out of it. And these plants can get really big, Esley. So how do you? So this, yeah, yeah. And so that's just something really cool that you can do. And this a mason jar. The one thing that you gotta be worried about this is good. This is neat because you can see it. But if you don't cover up this part of it or use a dark colored jar, which even this jar is darkly tinted, that the light will damage the roots. Because light don't normally come in contact with roots. Yeah. Yeah. So hydroponic gardens are really, really great idea. Of way to garden. And even on a small scale, you just got because those plants get so one of the reason with these things that the plants get so big that the container is easy to get knocked over. So I've seen people, so you got to have something to hold the can, especially if you are in like a moving vehicle or what have you. Because literally it becomes top heavy. And bigger it grows, the more top heavy it is. So you want to. So my friend literally buried a. It's literally my friend actually saw this. He done it. He buried the can in a pot with clay in it, and I'm like, "What do you have in a pot with clay in?" Oh, it's so it don't fall over, and it's also so it's insulated. Yeah, another thing is you got to worry about is you got to insulate the can somewhat because if it get cold, it could damage the plant. With too many fluctuations intensible. So yeah, just wrap it. Wrap the can. So easy. And you just gotta keep it full. Just gotta keep the water in it halfway full. Do you know how? What does it say?
Did you know it is illegal to harass Bigfoot in any way in the state of Washington? This law also applies to other undiscovered subspecies of Bigfoot, such as Sasquatch. What?
Wow. So that's why it's illegal to find Bigfoot.
Funny.
Don't you have some other? I'm sorry that we got disconnected for a minute. So, but we back. So another things. So, yeah. So, planting gardens. Yeah. So we got to plant some gardens. So what type of gardening ideas do you have or questions do you guys are going to have? That's a thing that we got to figure out what to do. So you mean go talk to you, try to figure out some way to plant gardens. So when I started planting gardens, what I did was to plant gardens was what I did was planting gardens was use like make these little plant balls, right? So you can take paper, right? And you can get it wet, and then you can place seeds on them, and then place it inside somewhere that moisture doesn't get out, and they actually will sprout. I seen this on like some type of, bag, 101 household projects you can do in a bag.
Ooh, okay.
But you can actually take paper and grow seeds on it. So you can actually place seeds on the paper, wet the seed, and then put it in somewhere, and then put it in a container the water can't get out of, or have a hard time getting out. But the thing is that you don't need light for seeds to sprout. You don't need light for seeds to sprout. They don't need to be in the window. So once they sprout, then you can put them somewhere that light will sprout. But like I said, the roots will be damaged by thing. I done before is like layers of dirt, layers. What I done before is layers of paper. So layer of paper, layers of paper. So you put your seeds down, and layer another piece of paper over it. Put more water, and then put a bunch of water in it, and then I see the plants will grow right through the paper. You can also blend paper up and make little balls, and then put the balls inside a cardboard box, and then that's what I done before is made these little plant balls, and I love doing them for Earth Day projects. Is making plant balls because they look like Earth, and I like the fact that a plant growing out of a sphere of dirt that looks like Earth. It's just very like Earth. So it's like an Earth Day tradition I do is making plant balls right before Earth Day and hand them out on Earth Day. If you guys want, I can start doing. I should do. Actually, that's the one thing I should actually do is plant some plant balls and sell them as a way to raise money for. So, you want to do some you want to plant some plant balls with me, Michelle? We can plant 1,000 plant balls and we can sell them and make money. That way we can sell them and get money for a car.
How do you make plant balls?
How do you make plant balls? Well, you get a ball, you make a ball, and you put a seed in it, and you water it. Okay, so what I usually do is mix dirt up like I make baking bread. So you think about baking bread, right? Okay. So you mix dirt in with water and you knead it. And then once you knead, you want like a consistency of like bread dough, right? And you don't have to use dirt. You can even use paper scrap, like scraps of paper, like tear paper up in little bits. Um, you can even put the paper in. You tear them up into little bits, and then soak them in water, and then you use some type of blender, paint mixer to blend it up even more. You can get a big bucket. Use a paint mixer to blend the paper up, and then strain off some of the water, and then strain off the water. Um, so my trailer park. Yeah, so plant. I think we should do some plant. And then you drain the water, and you got plant balls. So yeah, so what's good about these plant balls? I usually can sell them for pretty much $1 each, and they cost less than a nickel to produce. So you can sell them. Great thing about so that's one of the things I did when I did a community garden project is that I taught people how to make money on growing plants and how to make money because the bigger the plant is, the more money you can make. Okay, they want to see you, Michelle.
Oh, yes, I'm having such a time here. On top of the pandemic, I'm just dealing with. Well, I'm having a lovely lecture from Erick, so that's nice. I would always bug him, well, not always, but I remember last year I asked him a few times, well, teach me about what you know, but I think he thinks his knowledge costs money.
Wow. Yeah, knowledge does cost money. It should be worth something, but sometimes, I'm teaching all y'all for free, and I'm not even getting that many likes. So if you guys can like the video, that would really help. We like to get more people in here, so. So what do you? They ask you.
Oh yes, I have very interesting necklace designs.
What do you think about the
one
plant?
of them got
What do you
ruined.
think about plant balls?
I don't know.
Here, can I pull up the plant balls on my YouTube channel? Let me. Okay. Is this my computer or yours?
Mine. I
Okay.
know I thought it would be cool to make some kind of plant arrangement in a bird cage. I thought it would be cool to do that.
Okay, I'm
And
gonna
I think I came up with a few, even with like cut flowers maybe. I don't know. Maybe not.
I gotta
for mermaids.
I gotta show you this. Okay, let me show you the
Mermaid parties. Oh boy.
Okay, Earth Day.
Cabin fever, right? Yeah, cabin fever. I do want to go running or maybe ride his brother's bike somewhere not too hard to ride.
Earth Day. Go.
Yes, this is my precious necklace I made. It's so beautiful. I love it. My other necklace, I was trying to sell it, but I don't really think I liked it as much. And well, I had a few, but I think I lost it. It fell out of my bag, and
So
maybe someone has it now.
If you type go, yeah, I'm not sorry. What you were saying, Michelle?
I was just talking about one of my necklaces that I made a few years ago.
Okay, so this video is I did all the gardenings at the Rock Club Foundation headquarters in Detroit last year. Did a lot of videos on how when I brought a community together. We had a community garden. This is a song demonstration I did in Seattle, talking about Earth Day Festival a little bit. Come on, I can't even find. Okay, let me keep looking for it. It is PL. Yeah. Is this plant?
Yep.
No, no. You can continue talking about what you be. Okay. So I can't find it. I'll find it in a minute.
So yes, bird cage, hanging. I mean, of course, bird cages hang. Yeah. So a nice bird cage plant arrangement, plant flower arrangement. I think that'd be really cool, and have like ivy wrapped around the top a little, or maybe hanging from like the bottom, maybe. I know I had that idea like several years ago. But I also think it'd be, well, I don't know. I haven't really been working with plants lately, but I do like avant-garde flower designs. But lately I'm just interested in doing paper mache. And
How do
maybe
you
I
spell
could just
ball?
do it Ball. Maybe I could just do it by myself. Like
Well, we could do
a
paper
self.
mache.
Yeah, I mean I could do something with you, but I guess it was just there was this one idea, for example, that I had like 4 years ago, and I was like just sitting there at a table and being depressed, and I was like, oh my god, this would be like almost like a Frida Kahlo art installation, like something like some great artists would put at a gallery or museum to represent their legacy or something. I don't know. It just reminded me of that. But yeah.
All right. So yeah. So these are my plant balls I was doing. See, they at Deerfield. All right, we out here at Deerfield with Deer the Goat and the volunteers. We making Earth Day. We making plants. Yeah, we making plants. Making plants right now at Deerfield. All right, we bring you some plants this Earth Day.
Peace, love, and Mary Jane. Woo!
Yeah. Okay. Where is the other video? I did a whole video. I did actually a nearly nice edit video about that. I find it. I put it in the description.
A bruise? A bruise where? I don't have a bruise, I don't think.
No, Michelle don't have any.
I have acne. That's about it.
But you're beautiful.
Thanks.
Yeah, you guys need to quit playing with Michelle feelings, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, otherwise she's not going to be on these videos anymore. Because she's like getting tired of all you guys and you bullying. Let me fit it out. So what does it say?
I appreciate your effort and you put into this video. Nice seeing you be so serious for a while, and then you just had to ruin it by screaming like a snared goat, acting like a 5-year-old. What? Why did you do that?
Mm-hmm.
What is she talking about?
Oh yeah, because I was doing all serious a video, then I started laughing like a 5-year-old. It's whatever.
You were screaming?
Yeah, because it's just so funny. The guy was like being so ridiculously funny, asking for John Doe earlier today.
You were screaming because of someone saying their name was John Doe?
Well, I was laughing. I wasn't screaming. She might be exaggerating.
Sounds retarded.
Yeah, people are retarded. It's the internet, people. Don't let him win. What are you guys talking about?
Thanks, Opiami.
What is it? What did overseas beautiful just need to
Massage her frown.
Oh, okay. I don't think she want me to touch her face.
Yeah, I have like open wounds or whatever.
Yeah, I'll massage your shoulders. There you go.
I had some wine earlier.
Oh, is that why you drunk?
Do I seem drunk?
No, I'm playing.
Okay.
We're out of it. Oh, sorry. Michelle's drunk. Everybody hit the like button.
I didn't have that much wine. I had one glass.
So we gotta figure out what we gotta do to find some of my old videos about Earth Day. Like, why don't my old videos so hard to Erick. Oh, I don't know. I see this one.
3 years ago.
Let me see. And then it should have my other videos suggested.
I remember 3 years ago.
But anyways, yeah, I did a whole video on how to make them. I can't find the video right now. I will put it in the description later. But anyways, yeah, you can just. I want to do like. Anyways, that's a really good way to do planting seeds and stuff. I mean, you don't need a container. You just need a plant. Put a seed in the ground and grow them. It's a really good way of growing plants. And raising money, especially this time of year. What would you
I don't know. I'm not sure what I was doing. All I remember was I was dating this guy.
Yeah.
And we didn't see each other for a whole month because we had some kind of weird thing, and all I remember is kicking and hitting him over and over again.
Yeah, see? Michelle, don't mess with Michelle because she will hit you.
He was like saying things, and it was like upsetting me or frustrating me.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought he was like a snake trying to strangle me, like just intuitively. I thought that. So yeah, I don't know. Otherwise, I don't even know. I was in a class. I was ready to graduate from my computer software program. And I don't know, I wouldn't mind doing something like with numbers with what I studied. I haven't really done much of anything with it. And what I did do, I don't know, it wasn't much. I think it was like for my dad's company. It was my dad's company. Yeah, I really reached out. Yep.
Your dad.
Oh boy, he was the one who helped me get through the program. He was the one who was like, "Yeah, study that," and then he was like, "Okay, maybe you can study Spanish." I thought you.
Her dad is a professional counselor, and that's how messed up Michelle is. She's a professional, like. What
do you mean? What do you mean? How messed up I am?
Because
he's crazy, or
yeah, his dad is crazy trying to control Michelle. Get Michelle need to go through the 5-step program. Oh, I kill him. Like, I don't know about this lifetime 5-step program. He's a professor rehab specialist.
Thanks, Jen.
And he's like, he came and which is so ridiculous because, you think he knows stuff about the.
I think that was miscommunication between me, my family, like a family friend. I was working with an autistic boy, and that was just okay. That ended thankfully. But yeah, the father. I actually thought the boy was cute. Ha ha ha! And then that was just.
Why does it not go? Why does it only go back 1 month? That don't make no sense.
Anyway, that ended within like 3 months, and the boy acted like I was his girlfriend. And I felt like I was gonna fall off a cliff. And he wasn't quite 18. I was 26. So I was like, I do not want to get in trouble just in case. But I don't know. I guess his dad did say, well, he might flirt with you. I was like, okay. I mean, I guess I could look on the internet. How do you handle such a thing? Like, be like, no.
Why? How we get so far?
I mean, I guess I did say that.
How do we get so far off topic? We're supposed to be talking about
because you're talking about my dad for some reason.
Okay, but all right. Well, let's try to keep it on the topic of community gardens and stuff like that, so we don't lose people.
Sure.
All right, lose concept. Hey, did your best friend have, what does it say?
Oh, Michelle, Mrs. Robinson. What do you mean? Who's Mrs. Robinson?
What does it say?
There are lots of weirdos out running around these days. Some sicko just offered me a Boston cream donut if I'd show him butthole. The donut was good and all, but still stay safe.
Yeah, exactly, Michelle. Yeah. Um. Can I? Try and go back 3 years. Oh, okay. It's going back more than. Okay. Well, at least this time it's going back more than a month, maybe. Yeah, maybe I try to. Maybe I make too many videos.
To find your video that you're talking about?
Yeah, this video 3 years ago. I'm trying to get to it.
Oh, I like that video of me with what kind of hat was that? I don't even remember that. I kind of do, but I think it was your sister's hat. Ooh, you looked nice in some video picture. I think we made an alien pancake video.
Okay, yeah, I'm trying to get to 3 years ago. 8 months ago. 9 months ago. 10 months ago.
Yes, it does take practice. I back in 2012, I was dancing like 6 days a week. Ah! At my parents' house, not in a studio. Yep.
Okay.
I paid for my own violin lessons. At least some of the time. I know my mom helped me pay for them a few times.
We need to take more. Maybe we should take more music lessons while we're out here. Does anybody want to teach us music lessons?
And then
how much gardening have you done, Michelle?
how much gardening? I don't know. I did it at my parents'.
So that's good. Your parents made you do all the gardening.
Yeah, my dad had me do it at least once for Memorial Day because he thought I would enjoy it. So that was funny. You know, instead of going to like a Memorial Day party, I was gardening.
All right, so at least we got down to 2 years now.
What the hell? Wait, what? What's the DIY projects one?
Where do you see that at?
Go up a little. DIY.
Who knows? I'm looking for a video. Okay, we can go. We should go through our old videos another time.
Oh, I think you look nice with shorter hair. Huh. Yeah, I don't know what he's looking for.
I'm looking for this video on how to make plant balls. It's on my channel. I know it is.
And you can't look it up?
I try to look. I try to type it in.
Oh yeah, ball Earth Day. That's all you can put instead of plant balls.
I try to look into it, and it wouldn't come up. So I'm still looking for it.
I don't know if you really want to know, Jen.
No, what do you mean? We really want to know?
Why would you want to know your bad story?
Why does everybody? You guys are getting mad at me for telling you my bad story over and over again, and you keep asking me for it over and over again.
I don't know if
And
I
it's
even want to talk
automatic
about
trying
it.
to talk about it. Exactly, and trying to find this damn plant ball story. I.
Right.
This might be it. Yeah. You want one? These plant balls are really good because they never like, you know. So I did one garden of you planting plant balls into a garden. It's really cool. And you got the plant balls into the garden. And then we got the plant balls and we took them out and we put them in a box. And the box was supposed to be breaking down. And you just place them right on the top of the boat and it was showing. Yeah. So what I'm doing is taking both of the paper. Well, I don't understand why that. What it is. Do I have to re-upload it or something? Do I have to find it is on my Facebook page and not my YouTube channel? It's really awkward. I feel like it should be this one. I don't even see that other video. Before I had a bus. So those are the bus videos. a whole video on how to make. Some of my really old videos are really awesome.
Wait, what?
Oh, it's planting time. There he is.
4 years ago.
So I did a whole video on how to make plant balls. Yeah, so I blended up the paper. These are all the paper threads. And yeah, you seen the other video that I did after that, where we actually took the planter balls and deer food, deer the cows, and the bones here, so we making ote, we making plants. We making plants right now at deer food. Alright, we gonna bring you some plants this ote. Yeah. And I was doing the right out of my car. I had an inverter and it hooked to my battery, and was blending out the plants. So it's showing how you take the paper and throw it into my blender. Alright. So you see how you showed that video, that whole clip about how it was sewing, how it was. I took different clips of how they made a plant ball. So they formed it and made it into a hand, and then they throw it in a box. You know, they pick up the dirt, a thing of dirt, and then they formed it. You see, and then they formed it, and then they throw it in the box. And that's pretty much it. So you blend it up. You put it.
I like that one. These paper pots.
Yeah. See, I don't really like yeah. See this?
It doesn't work.
It does work.
It is the first part of March, and I need to get some seedlings going for my.
And some people do like this type of thing where they use plant. Yeah. So. Yeah, so you guys like that planting ball idea? So, and then after I made the plant balls, right? And then this video was my Ote video. Yeah, it's kind of bad. Cringe. I know. But I just want to show you this part. Well, you can put that one in there. And so, see, we're taking the rest of the plants. And you can show that they were actually sprouted. And it was placing them into the ground. And they kind of damaged a little bit because I did do a lot of transporting them around. And that's my friend that was one of the volunteers for the NC. I met her at Food Not Bums. She was dating some other guy. Yeah, so yeah. All my best friends was girls.
Yeah.
And before I met Michelle, and even after I met Michelle, why did it turn black and white? Yeah, black and white because I'm watching my old videos, or what? So yeah.
Oh wow.
So that's so yeah. I'm gonna probably try to. I'm gonna try to do an edited version. I'm gonna do. I think on that we need to make some plant balls, Michelle.
Yeah.
We need to hire some people to help plant some plants. And we need to raise money to get a car. I don't know. Well, that remind me, we should go through that application, those applicants for my job. So yeah, I had asked a few people that actually filled up for that job application for being a YouTube helper.
Yeah, you should, respond to them like ASAP.
Hire me, I will paint. Yeah.
You want to respond to them right now?
Oh yeah. Okay.
Who's gonna paint?
Randy. I don't think even Randy even live around here though. That's funny though.
Plant, it says.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, we got 20 likes. How many people even? Okay. So, let's talk to Brian Eats about any questions that you have with community gardening. Because he actually a person that is going to be planning a community garden for the Rock Club Foundation in Detroit. He's working with the Detroit chapter. Yes, the Detroit chapter is not all but lost. It's actually still somewhat functioning. Let me try to find. So. What?
Jeremy?
Who's that one guy that? Okay, let me just do it on my computer. Hey Jay, you want to talk for a minute? Jay Eats, yeah. Let's go to Jay. Yeah, call me on Facebook. Let me see if I can pull them up because you might have some questions that I can ask. Think of things quicker once I have somebody. Okay, here he is. Okay, there we go. Let's see if he answers.
Erick,
Hey,
hello?
hey, we are live on YouTube. I want to talk to you more while I'm on camera about planting community gardens, because we had a conversation about that other day.
Yes, we were talking about the higher gardens and above ground gardens as well.
Yes, so I was explaining that you can plant gardens in the ground. So if you go back to like my last Eurote festival gardening, that it will show you like that you can like take a tire and you plant, you can fill up what you need. How you plant a tire garden, what you do is you want to get, you want at least 2 bags of compost, and then you want to have like, it's good, and it'd be good if you have 1 bucket of some type of greens or browns or some other type of homemade compost, or 2 buckets.
Exactly. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So,
And you're using 1 bag of compost per tire, right?
no, you want
Roughly.
ideally you want one and a half or 2. It doesn't have to be two bags. You can buy or topsoil. The cheap.
You're flipping them. You're flipping them every year as well, right? So
Yeah, you flip.
can reuse it.
Yeah, you flip them every year, so you reusing the dirt every year. So all you do is flipping them, and then they're gonna be good once again. And then you add a bucket. Well, you want to add a bucket to it every year. A bucket of greens. So when you
Freshen it up.
you freshen it up, you give it some nutrients back into it, and then it actually gives you more growing real estate in it. Well, you know.
Yeah, I gotcha. Now you were doing like kale. What was that? What was that?
Yeah. So you could do some of the gardens I was doing kale, sometimes tomatoes. You can pretty much grow whatever you want in the tires. It doesn't really matter. You got to think about what the needs. So good thing about growing like so let's say good thing about growing kale is that kale is ready to be eaten at a short amount of time.
Right.
So you can eat kale right when it grows. You can eat. There are a lot of people that use kale for microgreens. So they get a bunch of kale seeds and they just get to do a tray, and they grow it under a light on a shelf, and then they take some type of and then they just take scissors and they chop it all down and put it in the bag and sell it to the restaurant, and they like rolls a few times.
That's mostly what I'm focused on is vegetation. You know, flowers is good too, but you know what I mean. Vegetation.
But like microgreens is a good thing to do in like if you have like a lot of indoor space, you can do like shelves inside your house and do microgreens, which I'm not really too sure on how to do that. So it's a really big like science, a lot of science and expertise into doing that, but I'm not really sure. But kale could be definitely is a good thing to grow because there are a lot of vitamins, and you just pick the bottom leaves once you get big enough and leave the top of it alone, and then eventually it will go to seed, and then you can harvest those seeds.
Gotcha.
Because you want to harvest your seeds. Yeah, I'm talking with Brian Eats. He's with the Detroit chapter, or more like Warren chapter, outside of Detroit.
Outskirts, suburbs.
Yeah, he's a new member.
8-mile area.
Yeah, it's Warren. He's living 8 Mile, and he's talking about either doing a community garden at his house or doing a community garden maybe somewhere else. I'm saying that you don't have to do it just at your house. I mean, you should plant a garden at your house, and then also maybe talk to a local business or something like that. And
like we talked about
you'd be like, hey, I can do your landscaping, and all I'm asking is allow me to do a community garden. And it's really beneficial to the business because one, they don't have to pay somebody to do the landscaping, and two, they don't have to, and they also bringing people to the business and bring make the business look good. And a lot of times, you can work with the business, and the business will actually even donate money to you guys. I know people that actually get paid, like the head of the community garden person get paid like a salary from the business to run the community garden.
Yeah, it's a good little revenue.
And then
plus you're doing something good as well.
And then they have volunteers that come and that they kind of teach the volunteers how to garden, and then they learn and the volunteers get knowledge and exchange of hard work, and then everything that's grown is either donated back into the community in one way or another, either through feeding programs, they like feeding underprivileged people, you know.
Yeah.
Or
any way you look at it, it's beneficial.
Or you know, of course the volunteers are going to have first dibs on anything that grows, you know.
Right. Yeah.
But you know, anything that not pick anything that the volunteers don't want can even be made into meals for the community. And so, you know, so like you can like start a community garden at a local business, talk to local businesses, have some land. I mean, a lot of times they have businesses and have land. Hey, you wanna fill up my cup with tea too?
Okay.
Oh
my gosh, you need to fix this.
What, the handle?
It's got the handle broken.
Oh yeah, things get broken when you're traveling. So yeah, so that's another thing you could do. You talk to local businesses. Sometimes, even places that might be developed in a few years could be used for putting community gardens, because you know, if you just explain them that when they do need land, that you are willing to move, and which once you have a community garden established, it'd be easier to maybe find a piece of land because then you create credibility, and and also once you start one community garden, you can start others easier because you already built a community of people to do it with. So once you start, if you start a temporary garden at one location, you've got a team of people that you can start several other community gardens, because that'd be better to start. That way when the project man does need their land back to build wherever they are planning on building, reason that they bought the land, that you're not just completely disconnecting the community. There's still going to be other places for the community to work on, that they know to go, because you don't want people to show up to the location they thought there was a garden, and then like, oh, it's somebody's house now or a business, and the garden is completely gone, and they're like, what happened to the community garden? You know?
Yeah.
Which is, we're still going to happen, but you know, once you understand that, hey, this is temporary garden, which gardens are great use of land for a temporary garden, because you know, you're not like you have a house that you're gonna have to tear it down or to build another house. You just move you move the plants.
Right, and there's stuff that grows back every year too. Like we were talking about, like the bulbs or the bulbs.
Yeah, so
the bulbs, they grow back every year, don't they?
Yeah, so some things grow back every year. So if you want to plant flowers, if you plant flowers with bulbs in it, they grow back every year. If you want to plant like bushes, they grow back. They go and bloom every year. Trees, there are a lot of perennial gardening plants that grow every year, that get bigger every year, which you know, depend on if you have a permanent garden, if you like working on a business, like doing the, as you know, in front of that business as a part of the landscape, it'd probably be beneficial to do, you know,
like flowers and stuff.
to do something that is beneficial, and
It's
you
to attract business as well.
and but exactly you can always integrate. You can do a mix, and you can always do mixers of flowers and edible plants, especially like businesses that are really like this type of stuff is like grocery stores, restaurants. Restaurants love growing plants, but restaurants, I don't think will like after a community garden involved. But like grocery stores love working with community gardens, like especially local grocery stores.
You're talking like compost resources in a way, so you could
And
an individual that's interested in
yeah,
doing
so
something
that's
like
another
this.
good thing about working with like a local grocery store. Like maybe like in Detroit they call them liquor stores. You
Right.
know, you know.
Yeah.
Places a small a bit because in like Detroit they have which is great because they have a lot of liquor stores. So you can maybe approach like a liquor store and say, hey, can we put a community garden next to your liquor store? They probably be definitely down. You know. Uh,
More
and that was especially since they don't have to do the landscaping and it's something to make the grocery store look good, or maybe like a slightly bigger grocery store like a Whole Foods. You wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if a Whole Foods would actually be down for uh sponsoring a community garden. You know,
that's always a thought. Yeah.
or Trader Joe's or some big chain.
Right.
Like you don't even have to go with a local company. It might be even better to go with a bigger, more established business, which you wouldn't even think of. But they will be, but they have more money to actually to actually fund you if they big or more established. You know.
That would be nice. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
ideal goal.
Because you could start a community garden outside of Trader Joe's, and then you can get a salary from Trader Joe's or from these big supermarket brands, and it would bring business to the store and make the store look like they're part of the community. You know, you know.
Exactly.
My
It just livens it up, brings more revenue to the city. People are gonna want to shop.
shopping. And sometimes shopping malls are good places to do that. Like I worked at a community garden that it was the end of a shopping mall. You know,
Okay.
so like at the end of the shopping mall, they had like a pitch of grass that they had to mow, and just kind of like they not really had no use for it. And then maybe down the road they might build something on it, but right now it's just a pitch of grass at the end of a shopping mall.
Yeah.
And then you talk to them and say, hey, we can turn this into something with the community. In exchange for letting us use this space, we will also take care of all the landscaping for the whole mall, and then in exchange for a little bit of revenue, and 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 then you start a community garden that also business as well as part of teaching people about sustainability.
And that's been a lot of your videos come in handy too, like the video you just showed a while ago, and the other videos as well. A lot of people can learn.
Yeah. So so you can a lot of people want to do like a whole. I want to do a whole series about how to grow out of poverty using plants to grow out of poverty. You can grow a plant, and a bit of dirt and a seed is only worth like about 5 cents, right?
Right. Yeah.
And you put a seed in it, all of a sudden, it's worth $1.
Yeah. It just doubled. It just tripled, and
No, 5 cents into $1. That's 20 times.
Right.
That's 20 times profit. And you already had.
Exactly. Yeah.
20 times that. That's the biggest markup in profit. If you say, hey, you invest a nickel and you get $1, that's like killing it right there. I mean, that's definitely killing it. That's more money. That's like the best investment you ever can even think of. Like you just have to put a little bit of time and energy into it, and then you make something out of nothing. That's what's beautiful about growing things. You take a little bit of, or you can even cheaper. You can use paper or compost and grow seeds out of it. That is, which is even cheaper. That you're talking about a penny, of materials.
Yeah, you gotta have time.
But it take more.
Compassion.
It take times. You can make an average person can make 100 plant balls an hour.
It's outrageous.
Which is crazy if you thinking that you're making. That means that you're making about $70 an hour.
Yeah. Yep. It's something else.
That's like $70 an hour, which is something that is like kind of outrageous. But then you gotta market it, and so how do you market your plant balls? Well, you got Facebook, Craigslist, things like that. Springtime, people are always looking for that type of thing. And then once you got a community garden, a community project,
Yeah.
So
no, I didn't fall asleep.
Making money,
More money in 8 balls? That's hilarious.
Which people, yeah. And yeah, so it's funny because the people are like, well, if why don't you sell? So the thing about this is that you can sell things that I don't want to say about like selling drugs is that drugs are not very the margins are not very good. I mean,
what do you mean when you say drugs? You're talking about a medical marijuana?
Medical marijuana, or even like what this troll was saying, 8 balls. The margins are not very high on any type of substances like that. The margins are like very low. Like you buy something, for almost as much as you're selling it for.
Right.
Like the only reason you get some type of discount because you're buying in quantity. And I used to sell marijuana, for example, and I remember I used to sell marijuana, and it's just like by time you flip it, you were selling you're selling $15 worth of marijuana for $20. So you're making $5 off a $15 investment. So you barely making an increase in profit. It's not even worth doing. Like most businesses, most things you buy and sell, you triple. What you buy it for, because there are 3 stages of most businesses is the inventory and then marketing.
Mm-hmm.
And then your time. So you inventory, marketing, and time. So that's why usually you want to triple whatever you buy something for. I mean, you can buy things off of Amazon and triple it and still sell it for a profit and locally. But
a lot of people are doing that this time of day and age.
I mean, you can buy things.
Food ain't going nowhere. You gotta eat, so.
You can buy things and just flip them, and you can buy cars and fix them up and flip them.
Exactly.
And that's one of the things that there's so there are things that you can do. And I don't know why it's in cities like Detroit that people when people are poor, they turn to drug use. So that's why this education of this community gardens are actually really good, because they're learning how to make money off of growing plants and doing things that are beneficial for the community, because everybody need to eat.
Exactly. It's not going nowhere, just like money.
Yeah, everybody need to eat. Not everybody need to do drugs, but everybody got to eat.
Exactly.
A lot of people do drugs, especially in major cities, but it's not a necessity like food is.
Exactly. It's way more high demand than any drug is.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody need to eat. You know, so if you're growing food, then you already have something that everybody needs, and that's, you know, and so, you know, so who when you're growing food, when you're producing food, who's your, you know, so, and so.
You said fertilizer. Don't worry as much about pesticides. Fertilizers.
Don't local community gardens don't use fertilizers and don't use pesticides, chemical pesticides, because unless you growing GMOs is really bad for your gardening process.
In other words, it's stripping it from its natural benefits.
Yeah, exactly. Stripping it from natural things is doing. Okay. So when you put fertilizer on the garden, when you put fertilizer on the garden, and what happens is you guys cure all the bacteria in the garden. The bacteria is really beneficial for the plant, right? Because without it, it doesn't grow. And then once you kill all the bacteria on the plant, then it needs the chemical fertilizer in order to survive. So then you make your garden addicted to it. That's why farms that use chemical fertilizer now, that's why it takes years for them to turn organic, because they actually have to plant. You know, they have to plant. They have to plant things on like grass and let it like. It takes like a long process to go from one type of garden to another from organic to pesticide garden to organic garden, because you gotta grow something else to strip all the chemicals out of it, and then once you do that, what?
It's almost dependent, almost like a drug. Like you talk drug talk.
Yeah.
It's almost like a drug to the plant. So it gets dependent.
On
and then if you stop giving it whatever, it would die.
It would. Yeah, exactly. And that's why it's hard for these the mass farmers to turn around and start growing organic, because they can't just do it. They can't be like, okay, I'm gonna stop putting fertilizers on my crops. They will all die. So you don't want to start off with it. You want to start off with natural things. If you get bugs in your plant, put oils on it. Plant things around your garden to destroy pests. Grow a variety of things in your garden, so if a pest attack one type of plant, it doesn't kill off your whole garden. You know?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I wish I was watching on my laptop. I was actually tuning in on my cell phone device, but yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm like, well, I got you on my phone over here, and I got you on my laptop on the conversation. So
okay.
Because it is helping me, keeping me on task, having you explain this to you. Because I was trying to get off task, because I got all these people on YouTube and was sitting here like, what am I talking about again? So.
It's practically free education with the videos and the stuff that you supplied for people.
Yeah, it's free. It's free. Exactly. All my videos are free. It took a lot of time to put these videos together. I think a lot of people say YouTube is going to be the future of education. Like, schools are going to actually be replaced by a YouTube platform. Like, teachers are going to be making YouTube videos for the students. Like, you know, like teachers are going to be making YouTube videos for the students, and then make the students watch the YouTube videos, and then talk to them when they have questions, instead of teach doing a whole lecture and then have to have Q&A.
Exactly, you learn everything.
So they can watch a video. So let me think about. So yeah, you do a tire garden, you plant tire. You can do allotments. So what allotments are always somewhat good. You designate different spots, raised beds for each person to have. Raised beds are always good, ideals, because a lot of times the soil is not very good. Maybe you trying to plant somewhere that have rocky soil, or somewhere that been in a field where they've been using fertilizer a lot.
I see. Yeah.
Like a lot of people use fertilizers on their lawns.
Now, I seen that video with. I'm sorry, let me cut you off.
What video you seen?
I seen the video with you with the rotor tiller. Now that's what I need. I need me a damn roller tiller.
There's a roller tiller. Hopefully I still have my roller tiller at the rock farm. You can talk to Jay about it. The other Jay that lives next door to the rock farm.
Okay.
Or talk to Irie at the UIO. They should know where it is if it haven't been stolen.
Oh no, it's highly secured.
Yeah, there's a guy next door to the Rock Club Foundation that actually been kind of working with us. And he's actually, he's had issues and stuff, but he's trying to start a project of his own. It's kind of his own project.
You got fire marshals. You got Wayne County, the 36th district. They're not tolerating any more of that bullshit. With these vandals and people doing nonsense. Well, they're going up and down the blocks. They're not tolerating. There's a lot of crime, but it's not as bad as it was.
No, that's good. Hopefully, if they're cutting down on the vandalisms and the crimes, and maybe I can move back there at one point.
Yes, sir.
But I still got people threatening me. I made that post the other day. I had some guy. It's funny the people that have threatened me on Facebook and click on the profiles, and they're usually guys talking shit about how I don't know how to treat women when I have a girlfriend. And then I go look on their profile, and they don't have a single picture of themselves. Gee, I wonder who's trying to hide more about their lives. The people that barely have anything on their Facebook profiles, or the person that literally make videos every day about their lives.
There's some weirdos, man.
There's some weirdos out there that call them.
Hey, we all got problems. Some people got some loose screws, but some people got more loose screws. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just, it's sad reality. People with just haters, they're jealous. Hey, man.
I know,
but that's what it's all built.
We gotta stay on top of the community garden. What other questions do you have about gardening?
We're talking. We covered the tires. The above ground garden. When you had your rotor tiller.
Okay, ideally you till it before you put the dirt down. You don't have to till it before you put the dirt down, because you are burying everything. Even grass would be buried, right? Right? Ideally, if you don't, ideally, some people even put cardboard down. They can. The reason I roller till it, because I wasn't really concerned about not using the dirt. A lot of times people want to do above garden because they don't want to use the natural dirt. Using the natural dirt is sometimes good because it holds more water and hold more moisture. The water will sit in it more and better, being in the ground than being above the ground. Okay, So being in the ground is actually better for the reason you want to do above ground is because you have reason to believe that your soil is not going. Usually they do it because they one because traditionally they like if they try to do allotments. They usually do that because that's traditional allotments. You do a raised bed just because it look good. Everybody have a box and a raised bed. But you don't have to really do a raised bed if you don't want to. If your soil is already decent, you know. I mean, it doesn't have to be good. You just got to be decent, you know.
All right. So the down part, what's inconvenient is on my property, the grass, the dirt isn't completely leveled. So when it rains, it's almost like a little swamp.
Okay.
So, but the whole backyard isn't like that.
Okay, so that's another reason you want to maybe go above ground because you don't want your plants to flood. You know?
Yeah.
Well, thank you. We got some people say we're a lovely couple.
Who?
So basically, that's another reason you might want to do above ground to help control, like, because you could kill your plants if they get flooded. You know, with the above ground, with above ground, you don't have to really worry about that. And if it's not level, then that's another thing you might have to worry about.
You a whole another job.
A thing is that you could dig posts and put the dirt in but it doesn't have to be that far into the soil because the fact that is, you mainly just once you build a box, it's going to make the box is going to hold itself, especially when it's full of dirt. And you want to use screws, okay? Because if you use nails, then they're going to pull out. You want to.
About with the above ground with the boards.
Yeah, you want to do we want to use screws and maybe even washers.
Okay. As long as it's braced down good. In other words.
Yeah, because you want to use screws and washers, not nails. Because nails will pull out. Sometimes it's good to put some of you could use some type of washers, or you could use some type of another board over top of the board. You know, like a thick board or a piece of metal. You know?
What?
Piece of metal.
Oh, on the inner portion? On the inner side?
You know, like you put a screw through like a piece of metal to hold the board. A brace, yeah, because when you fill a box of dirt, you want to push out.
Yeah.
So that's why you want to use screws, because you want to push out. And that's a big.
You got multiple videos though. Now the one that I seen that you took the time out, I know you did a lot of editing on that one video.
Yeah, last year on Earth Day, I used to do a lot more editing before Cutie Pie died. For some reason, when Cutie Pie died, I just didn't. I kind of shut down a lot, and stopped editing my videos because I didn't want to see Cutie Pie again. Because it's just when you're editing a video and Cutie Pie is there, and that's one reason I think I stopped. And then another reason, and then after that, I just kind of got depressed and I didn't feel like putting the work in my videos like I used to. Yeah. And now I'm just out of practice doing it. You know? And I need to get back into doing it, and I'm going to. And I got friends that will help edit. Maybe Michelle have a friend that they introduced me to that does really good edits, but that's why I kind of stopped editing my videos so much. But yeah, I did a lot of my last Earth Day was really good, and we did a lot of different type of planting techniques through the years. Showed the planting time video. It's planting time.
Yeah.
That's the one with the plant balls, showing how to do plant balls, and then
Yeah, I think that was that wasn't the one that you were showing that you were just now broadcasting, was it?
I did show the plant. Yeah, the one. Yeah, it's planting time. That's the one I just now broadcast that was showing the kids helping me make the plant balls out of paper. Because paper was really good because it doesn't cost you anything. You can get paper out of any recycling bin for free.
Can you use tissue? A lot of people don't know. Like would you be able to successfully sprout with tissue as well? Right?
Well, tissues you can sprout with tissues. A lot of people, there's a bag method I was talking about before. Is that you use tissue and then and then you put your seeds down on tissues, and then you put another sheet of tissue, and then the plant will sprout through the tissue. And you use 2 sheets of tissue because if your roots hit light, they could be damaged. So you want a tissue over. So you put your seeds down. You put your seeds on the bottom side of the tissue, and then if you want a sheet of tissue, you put your seeds. You put your seeds on the bottom of the tissue, wet it, and then you flip it upside down, and then it sprout up through the tissue. You know. Because you want to use the tissue to cover the seed. Because if the light hit the roots, it could damage the roots or make them weak.
And that's the birthing process, and then you're gonna plant it.
Yeah. Well, the thing about most people don't realize is that seeds don't need light. You know?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Seeds don't need light.
Okay. Oh, so they don't need as much sun as people think.
They don't need any light. They don't need any. Actually, you can stack your trays in the closet.
Okay.
In your house, and actually, it's almost like incubating chickens. They need.
That's a good theory.
Okay, they actually need to be warm. They need warmth more than they need light. They don't need light, but they need to be warm. They need to be. You can look on the seed package, and they would tell you how warm they are. Or you can look up on YouTube, but I think they need to be like 75, 80 degrees. Or some of them are like 90. You know.
Yeah.
You know if they.
Otherwise, the temperatures drop.
Because that's how seeds know it's springtime.
Yeah. Okay. It's like wake up time.
It's nice, warm, and it's moist. It's warm and moist. They know it's wake up time. If they're outside in the cold, they like, oh, I don't know if I want to sprout right now. You know. I know that. I remember when I was a kid, and the plants always sprout while I was making dinner. Right?
Okay.
And that was because I had the oven running, and the house got real hot. And then I walked into the bedroom, and all my seeds are sprouted.
So they just adjust naturally with the temperatures, with the heat rising and everything.
Yeah, when the heat rised up, the seeds sprouted. You know, when they feel it warms up. They want to sprout that when they want to kick, you know.
And that's a good thing for the kitchen too, like natural herbs, like sage. There's so much other ones that.
But that you can do if you want to do an indoor garden, or like a traveling garden, like hydroponics. Like you can have plants either in cans, in cups, with a little bit of cloth. Like rubber, take a bit of cloth, take a rubber band, hold the cloth in with a rubber band, and then push it down a little bit, put the rubber band in, put a little bit of dirt and a little bit of stones, and then
you can use a coffee can as well too, right? You don't have to be like a specific kind of.
Well, usually you want to use something
you don't
that's
have to go out of your way to purchase something. You can use something that's probably already in your household.
Yeah.
To save money.
You want to use something that's kind of porous, like you can see through. You don't really want to use a t-shirt because it might be too. You want something that roots can pass through. Pantyhose work really good. Like something like burlap will work really good.
Yeah.
These are really cheap materials, but like pantyhose are pretty good. Something that is very loose woven fabric. So roots will grow through, and then you need something and then you attach it using rubber bands. You can use pipes. You want to use pipes, and you attach the and then use and then you drill holes and you put and then you can use the top of a cup and put a cup down.
You drill the holes at the bottom, right?
And
like
then you drill a hole in the bottom of the cup and you put it in the pipe, and then we'll have a pipe that and then you have water flowing through the pipe.
So you're not overdoing it.
And then you got water flowing through the pipe out of like a fish tank with like, fish.
Yeah.
And the fish, and that's really good because then you got the fish filtering. You got the fish filtering. You got the plants filtering the tank, so you don't have to clean the tank or the filter because you got an organic filter for your fish. You can use like goldfish to fertilize your plant, and you can have a hydroponic garden.
Oh yes.
And you can use a fish pump. You use the same fish pump that you have, the fountain pump. So you have the pump that pumps the water from the bottom of your tank up through the filter. But instead of
those things are cool too. You know them little black things? They look like you can fill them up with water. You can put them in the ground. Little fish and stuff.
Yeah,
that's pretty dope too.
So you have these little fish pumps. You have these little filter pumps, and you take a filter pump, and instead of pumping into the filter, you pump it through a hydroponic system. It pumps right into the hydroponics through a hydroponic system, and then drains into right into back into the fish tank, and it's light, and these fish tanks are light, and it's something. Now you got something that's lightweight. You can have a small fish tank, and you got flowing water. And flowing water is actually better than static water, like the independent jar one. It does work, but the flowing water, the ones that are with flowing water, works better.
Gotcha.
And you can grow.
Good night.
You can grow a bunch of things in flowing water. You can. I wouldn't mind having a fish. That'd be really interesting having a hydroponic system inside like my van. That'd be having a garden that like flips down, like on my
flips down.
Yeah, it'd be like on Time magazine or something.
Oh yeah, like the back window of my van, you just see like plants growing up.
Yeah.
It'd be like, what, you just got plants growing? Yeah, it's you got hydroponics. They designed hydroponics was like the ones that NASA did most of the research about hydroponics because they was want to use it to grow plants in space. But hydroponics was used by like indigenous people thousands of years ago. They used to take take rivers.
Okay.
Used to take rivers, right? And you used to take irrigate off of rivers, and then they flow through aqueducts with gravel, and then they plant on top of the gravel, and then the plants grow down into then the plants grew down through the gravel, and 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 got the nutrients from the river.
I got a plant right now. It's about, I want to say, 7 years old. I took it from Jefferson by the water, 9 Mile on Jefferson, and it's still here. 7 years later, it grows every year. So right through the rocks. So I know where you're coming from.
So yeah, so you got a plant growing through the rocks, and that's how hydroponics came. That's how hydroponics came up with that. So they planted they got a bunch of rocks. They put the rocks down, and then they buried the rocks, and they got plants growing, and then they planted a bunch of plants, and the plants grew down through the soil into the rocks. My friend have a van for sale for 500. It needs a transmission work thing. I think, yeah. Yeah, I don't know about transmission work, man.
Wow. But anyways, man, it was good talking to you.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
I went online about the T-shirts. It said it might be a little delayed because of the COVID-19, but they're still in stock, right? As far as I know, they're still in stock.
I'm not really quite sure. Oh yeah, the Dear the Goat T-shirts on my Teespring.
Yeah.
I know that people can still buy it. I think I still have the link on there. I haven't sold too many.
It still is.
But you can. I still think I can check on that. But if it would take your order, they should go through. That's kind of separate from what I'm doing. I just sent. But they is a separate company. But yeah, it might be a delay because of COVID-19, but you should still get your order, and if at some point. So yeah.
Okay. And I got to see some of Michelle's artwork too. That's dope. That's really great.
Where do you see it?
Where did I see it?
Yeah.
Well, I got your husband on social media, so I ran across it.
Oh, okay.
So, anyways, I just want to give a shout out to you guys, and
let me know what I can do about. So we're doing a contest.
What's up?
I just let you know I want to do before and after people, and whoever send me the best before and after shots, I will put them on my YouTube channel.
And I've seen that too, yeah. And that's on the Rock Club Foundation.
You think maybe I should do I don't know if I can afford it. Maybe I could do like a giveaway too. Whoever got the best before and after shots, I can give them. Like I don't know.
What's the month span?
So now until like May, whoever can come up with the best before and after.
General idea. Right.
I think May. I think like May. Like I'm probably going to do it after Michelle's birthday, May 18th or something, because I want to give some people time to like do before and after, like. Or maybe this summer. Maybe I should do maybe I could do the different videos like. Ideas like it. I mean, even if I did do a giveaway, I'm a small YouTube channel. I don't make a lot of money, so it ain't gonna be anything that's gonna be like, oh my god, you giving away a Tesla truck? No, I ain't giving away no Tesla truck. I ain't gonna give away no car. It might be like a free T-shirt or something, but that's
and that's awesome.
Like. Or a piece of artwork. That's as most as I can probably offer. Michelle actually have a birthday T-shirt she made, and she's selling on her Teespring.
On my what?
Okay, that's cool.
On your I don't know.
eBay.
Yeah, it's like say
it's
take
on
care
eBay.
of take care of Mother Earth. Yeah.
But it's also for sale on Facebook.
Let me look into that. Maybe we should get that going on Teespring. Put that on my Teespring website. Maybe I should do. If you guys want to design some more if there anybody out there that want to help me design some T-shirts, let me know. I want to come up with some more designs and put them up on my site.
And we need to touch base on that too, because what I want to do is purchase an iron press and get the retrieving paper and get the computer and pretty much print it off, put it in the iron press, quick demand. You know, it's a very quick process. It's
Well,
actually
yeah,
quicker
I
than
mean,
a lot of people think.
yeah, doing DIY like that is good. I already have a print shop at the UIO with a screen with my design on it.
Gotcha.
So you can go get my Rock Club Foundation T-shirt screen from Irie. At the UIO, maybe, or you can screen print a whole bunch there. From Irie.
Oh, well, I'm not gonna do that now. I'm gonna go officially purchase it from you. I'm not gonna make no bootlegs, my man.
No. I'm just saying that you can go get like the screen if you want to start making Rock Club T-shirt. You can get the screen.
Yeah.
And print a whole bunch, and we can start mailing them out to people maybe somehow. I don't know how that will work, but I don't really know if I almost feel like the DIY ones are be better as giveaways, because I don't want to like promise somebody a T-shirt that they bought and then they don't get it and they're mad because something happened, because we made a mistake and we didn't get the something happened, because like that's why I went through Teespring, because I don't want to be like, oh, I wasn't able to mail you it, and then they get mad because they didn't get their T-shirt.
Yeah. How many people you got watching, Eric?
I got 17. People don't care about planning gardens.
Okay. Well, 17 people. If you ain't like and subscribe to Eric's page, you're sleeping. He's been doing some good stuff for the community. You guys gotta like, share, and comment to Eric the Go Guy. We love what you're doing down here, coming from Detroit, man. That's what I want to tell you.
The Teespring link is in the description. I believe they're 25. I want to do some more work on. I maybe while I'm sitting here in quarantine, I could be working on that.
Definitely.
And people need to be working on their gardens and while they're sitting in quarantine.
We got all the time right now. Let's come up with ideas and.
I mean,
open game.
Right now. And who knows? This might be the end of the world, so that's another reason we need to be planting gardens.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
This might be the end of the world. We might need that food in our backyard. You never know.
I know one guy I know. He was making a pandemic garden.
Oh, that's what we should do. Is yeah. So.
For sure.
So yeah. And maybe I should do the whoever does the best garden picture. I can make some cut. Or what I could do is make some custom. I can make some T-shirts with some spray paint and just send them out to all my people that make gardens. You
can cut out like a decal. That would be pretty cool too. I don't know if 3D printing. Yeah, you might be able to do it.
Just cut out a decal on a piece of plastic and then use a can of spray paint.
That'd be really nice, yeah.
And you can make T-shirts like that. And then you just send them out to people that helped grow, that started community gardens. And then hopefully they, they're already donating to the mission by making. So what? Yes. So you say you gotta go soon?
No, it's all good, man. It was a good talking to you. I ain't in no rush, but you know what I mean. If I get offline, I'll just tune back in. I don't know how long you're gonna be live streaming.
Yeah, I might get off live stream. You can look at him. He's on Jay's Eats, whoever.
Yep.
Where is
Brandon J. Eats, Rock Club Foundation.
What?
Subscribe to Erick the Go Guy if you haven't already. Like his content.
I want to start making more videos when I get my Streamlabs going. I need to find somebody to help me with my Streamlabs.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Yeah, some good shit. All right, brother. You take care.
So, all right. So that's what Jay eats. So what you guys have any questions about anything on YouTube land out here? Like I say, make sure everybody hit the like if you haven't already. We're doing good. Do you have a garden? I don't have a garden here at my mother's house. It's not my house, it's my mother's house. I've been really depressed also. So but I might be doing a small doing some type of gardening here. Won't that be fun, doing some gardening, Michelle?
Yeah, it'd be lovely. Especially if it's lilacs. I could make a lilac arch. Right?
Yeah, it'd be fun. We can do it. You can put out our you can put out our looking for work flyers and be like, maybe you can talk somebody into letting you plant it.
Yeah.
Our tree. But
About March? Wait, what? What does it say?
yeah, right here, Jay, he just commented right there. You can see the video on his update on the Rock Club Foundation. You guys can subscribe to him. He's going to do some updates about the Rock Club Foundation in Detroit. I don't know why we don't have very many people on here right now, but it's good, I guess. Maybe because we've been streaming for 2 hours. I'm glad that people are not being mean. That's good.
Oh man. Okay, I want to go get them up. Oh.
Do you guys what is the stars make? Whatever. What's the Rock Club? So what's the Rock Club Foundation? The Rock Club Foundation is a nonprofit organization that I attempted to started in high school. It's an organization that brings artists and dreamers together to make the world a better place. I've been doing things for the community for over with the help of other people, quote unquote Rock Club Foundation, like for over almost 2 decades now, doing walks for the homeless, doing Earth Day festivals like this video I'm doing right here, and doing any other type of community outfit, standing up for artists and standing up for free speech and activism and inspiring others to do the same. And so that's really what the Rock Club Foundation kind of does. It's never really took off the ground. We had some really awesome events, but we definitely want to keep doing some things for but it would definitely, if I keep my YouTube channel growing, maybe the Rock Club I hope, my biggest hope, that's my biggest reason that I keep this YouTube channel going, because of the Rock Club Foundation and my commitment to always spreading love and positivity, inspiring people through the Rock Club Foundation. And as much as I can, and inspiring others to do the same. So, I know there are a lot of people that want to destroy my hopes and dreams, but I'm not going to let them. And so I feel like all my fans are the Rock Club Foundation. All you guys are Rock Club Foundation. That's why I start every video. I start addressing you, the Allotments, as the Rock Club Foundation, because I hope that you will be inspired to do things for the community and to make the world a better place by seeing what I do and how I live my life. It'll hopefully inspire you to spread your love and positivity throughout the world. And I'm hoping that you guys, my fans and my subscribers, are the Rock Club Foundation. So yeah, good question. Start a plant. Okay, so I'm gonna probably start working on planting some plants, and probably bring some people over here that I probably going to try to hire some people to plant plants in my neighborhood, and then we're going to sell some plants, and so yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. So let me see what's going on. We got 38. We got 13 dislikes. That's crazy. Why do I got so many dislikes? Man. But because all the people that I blocked come back and they're still watching the videos and they disliking them all. They try to shut down the channel. Alright, well that's why we gotta keep making positive content. Alright, well, we've been going for 3 hours, so maybe I should get going. Stay positive, buddy. Thank you, people. People are...